IELTS relating reading passages to, you should spend about 20 minutes on questions 14 to 26, which are based on reading passages to below. Changes in reading habits. What are the implications of the way we read today? Look around and look around on your next plane trip. The iPad is the new pacifier for babies and toddlers. Younger school-aged children read stories on smartphones. Older kids don't read at all, but much over video, but hunch over video games. Parents and other passengers read on tablets or skim a flotilla of email and news feeds. Unbeknown to most of us, an invisible game-changing transformation links everyone in this picture. The neuronal circuit that underlies the brain's ability to read is certainly rapidly changing, and this has implications for everyone from the pre-reading toddler into the expert adult. As work in neurosciences indicates, the acquisition of literacy necessitated a new circuit in our species brain more than 6,000 years ago. That circuit evolved from a very simple mechanism for decoding basic information like the number of codes in one's herd to the present highly elaborated reading brain. My research depicts how the present reading brain enables the development of some of our most important intellectual and effective processes, internalized knowledge, analogical reasoning, and inference perspective taking, and empathy, critical analysis, and the generation of insight. Research surfacing in many parts of the world now cautions that each of these essential deep reading processes may be under threat as we move into digital-based modes of reading. And this is not a simple binary issue of print versus digital reading and technological innovation. As MIT scholar Sherry Turkle has written, we do not err as a society when we innovate, but when we ignore what we disrupt or diminish while innovating. In this huge moment between print and digital cultures, a society needs to confront what is diminishing in the expert reading circuit, what our children and older students are not developing, and what we can do about it. We know from research that the reading circuit is not given to human beings through a genetic blueprint like vision or language. It needs an environment to develop. Further, it will adapt to that environment's requirements from different writing systems to the characteristics of whatever medium is used. In the dominant medium advantages, processes that are fast, multitask oriented, and well suited for large volumes of information, like the current digital medium, So will the reading circuit. As UCLA psychologist Patricia Greenfield writes, the result is that less attention and time will be allocated to slower, time demanding, deep reading processes. Increasing reports from educators and from researchers in psychology and humanities bear this out. English literature scholar and teacher Mark Edmondson describes how many college students actively avoid the classic literature of the 19th and 20th centuries in favor of something simpler, as they no longer have the patience to read longer, denser, more difficult texts. We should be less concentrated with students. We should be less concentrated with students' cognitive impatience, however, than by what may underlie it. The potential inability of large numbers of students read with the level of critical analysis sufficient sufficient to comprehend the complexity of thought and argument found in a more demanding texts. Multiple studies show that digital screen use may be causing a variety of troubling downstream effects on reading comprehension in older high school and college students. In Stavanger, Norway, psychologist Annie Mangan and her colleagues studied how high school students comprehend the same material in different mediums. Mangan's group asked subjects questions about a short story whose plot had universal student appeal. Half of the students read the story on a tablet and the other half in a paperback. Results indicated that students who read on print were superior in their comprehension to screen reading peers, particularly in their ability to sequence, detail, and reconstruct the plot in a chronological order. Um, Ziming Liu from San Jose State University has conducted a series of studies which indicate that the new norm in reading is skimming involving word spotting and browsing through the text. Many readers now choose a pattern when reading in which they sample the first line and then word spot through the rest of the text. When the reading campaign skims like this, it reduces time allocated to deep reading processes. In other words, we don't have time to grasp complexity, to understand and others' feelings, and to perceive beauty, and to create thoughts of the reader's own. The possibility that critical analysis, empathy, and other deep reading processes could become the unintended collateral damage of our digital culture is not a straightforward binary issue, adopt to print versus digital reading. It is about how we all have begun to read on various mediums and how that changes. So not only what we read, but also the purposes for which we read. Nor is it only about the young and the subtle atrophy of critical analysis and empathy affects us all equally. It affects our ability to navigate a constant bombardment of information. It incentivizes retreat into the most familiar stores of unchecked information which require and receive no analysis, so leaving us susceptible to false information and irrational ideas. There is an old rule in the neuroscience that does not alter with age, use it or lose it. It is a very hopeful principle when applied to critical thought in the reading brain because it implies choice. The story of the changing reading brain is hardly finished. We possess both the science and the technology to identify and redress the changes in how we read before we become entrenched. If we work to understand exactly what we will lose alongside the extraordinary and new capabilities that the digital world has brought us, there is as much reason for excitement as caution.